This is an RPG-A-Day response from the Casting Shadows blog and channel. Day 30 of RPG-A-Day for 2016 is asking us once again to use our imagination, the vaunted imagination of the role-playing gamer. And it's saying, if budget were no limit, what sort of game room or game area would you set up for you and your regular group or groups? I think this answer will vary quite a bit depending on if you have one group playing one game down through the ages, or if you try a lot of different games, or if you play a variety of different games with a variety of different people. So, floor is open. Budget is not a concern. Have at it. What would your gaming space be like if money were no object? Over the years, something which has stayed consistent in my gaming has been a lack of interest in imagery supplied by, let's say the game master to support their narration. What I'm talking about is pictures, projections, movies, maps, that sort of thing. It's not important to me either as a player or as the game master. As the game master, this is not a skill I've really developed, smoothly using pictures or having a lot of prepared battle maps or whatnot, and being able to interject them into the flow. This is not really a skill that I have. That kind of thing interrupts me because I personally have no interest in it. I am interested in what the imagination brings as a result of the narration. The narration from that player over there, the narration from this player over here, and my narration as the game master, for example, how those things interact and the reality that they create, that's what has interested me most and most consistently. And so, for my ideal game room, I'm not really that interested in being able to more easily have a map appear or an image of an NPC or something along those lines. That doesn't really do it for me. Now, this is going to seem like a contradiction, because in Call of Cthulhu, one of the things that first got me really excited was all the realia, the handouts that you could give, letters, matchboxes, stamps, passports, etc., etc. All of these things are really engaging for me. I like to be able to slide across a letter in someone else's handwriting. The group knows I didn't write it, and it's on interesting paper. And, that is magical in a way that showing me the picture of an NPC isn't. And that just is what it is. This is just preference. I'm not knocking someone else's style. In fact, I'm praising it as a style, a skill to learn. Now, what I'm talking about is for the design of my ideal game room, I don't really need to worry too much about having like a video tabletop. I'd love to have a video tabletop just because that's cool, but for my gaming, I don't need it. I might want a projector, but for my gaming, I don't really need it. So what kind of things do I need? And it occurs to me that the ideal game room for me is one that is like realia, meaning that it'd be very easy to redress or reskin the room to reflect whatever game it was that you wanted to play. So if you're doing something set in the 1890s, it'd be very easy to make it seem like a drawing room or whatever. It just doesn't have to be so completely letter perfect that you're in the actual room that whatever's happening is happening. No, I just mean that as players look around, they have small visual clues of where and when they are, if this is science fiction or if this is fantasy or whatever, so that the room itself takes on a certain character that matches the genre. So I'm not talking about having visual display screens that show exactly what I'm talking about. I'm looking for things that suggest or that support. I'm not talking about having hidden speakers for dialogue or ambient sound or music. These are all things I've experimented with in the past that I prefer not to use. So the game room would be a room of suggestion, that it would, no matter where you were sitting or where you were looking, it would supply you with visual reinforcement of the game that you were playing, but isn't in any way directing your actual imagination of the scene. Only the narration does that, and that's the sort of thing that I'm interested in. So that's what I would like my room to reflect. Again, if price were no object, I would like to be able to have comfortably large or small groups. So this is a table that can be resized to comfortably accommodate 3 or 4 players, or expanded out to comfortably accommodate 10 or more players. The largest games I've ever run have had more than 10, and the smallest have had just a single player. So making this not seem awkward, like those fantastic movies where the host is sitting at one end of the table and like 50 feet at the other end of the table is the other person. We don't want that. We don't want those kind of barriers unless that's an actual part of play. So I want a room that is not in any way tied to its own design. I would like a room that can be repurposed and become other rooms from other times, other places, other genres, easily and quickly and comfortably. That would be the type of gaming space that I would want if money were no object. And maybe also if the actual skill and requirements of architecture didn't exist. It's hard to say. Anyway, thanks for listening. There's only one more day to go, day 31, and then RPGaDay for 2016 will draw to a close. Autocratic's RPGaDay has been sponsored and run by the RPG Brigade for 2016. If you'd like to know more about the event, or if you'd like to know more about the Brigade and their coming actions in October for BrigadeCon, a 24-hour online gaming convention and benefit for the Child's Play charity, please go to brigadecon.org. All the information you need is there.